These are the Chat City interviews from 103.2 Preston FM.
OK, you're with Chat City on this Monday morning, so we've made it through the weekend. We can go through the week. And as we said, it's Easter week, so of course coming up to Good Friday and the Easter weekend. And in the studio, it's nice to welcome this morning to meet again. It's Cath Greenlees, and Cath is from Christian Aid. So Cath, a very good morning. Nice to meet you again.
Good morning.
And I think you're in to tell us about a special event on Friday, is it?
Yes, on Good Friday we have a hunger lunch in St Andrew's Church Hall, Longton, from 11:30 till 1. The lunch consists of soup, roll and butter, cheese, tea or coffee, and the cost is £4 or voluntary contribution for children. And the proceeds are for Christian Aid for a particular partnership scheme that the Longton Area Christian Aid Committee is involved with. It's a partnership scheme for Kenya, providing maternity and child health care in Kenya. In many of the rural areas, there's very little health care, and this scheme is providing, training midwives, I think about 500 midwives being trained, providing maternity care, also ambulances and vaccinations for babies, children, and vitamin supplements. When we raise £5,000, the EU will make this amount up to £20,000. So it's a very worthwhile project and will expand in Kenya as time goes on.
Right, so the work in Kenya then is very important.
Yes.
And why is it called a hunger lunch?
Because one of Christian Aid's concern in general is to provide food for those who need food. And we particularly try to think of this, I think, during Lent. In many churches, we focus our attention for it on Good Friday. And the lunch itself is fairly frugal. We feel that people should or can perhaps eat less in order to try to provide help, whether it is food or whether it is health facilities for people who are really needing it. The lunch isn't too frugal, but we try to make it very simple and hope that people will keep in mind those who have very little in different ways.
And the vision of Christian Aid is poverty is an outrage against humanity. It robs people of dignity, freedom and hope, of power over their own lives. And Christian Aid has a vision, and that is to end poverty. And we believe that vision can become a reality. How long have you been involved, Cath, with Christian Aid?
Probably altogether, about 50 years.
And, I mean, was there a specific reason? I mean, was there something at the time that you became involved with Christian Aid very close to your own heart that you wanted to be able to help with?
Yes, I don't know that it was a particular event. I think it was just that I was and had been already aware of the need, of the suffering in the world, and of the vulnerability of so many people. And it was really when I was at university that I became involved, when Christian Aid was involved in the house-to-house collections at that time, and still is. And I think I volunteered to help with those, and that was really the beginning of the sort of activity with Christian Aid. Yeah.
So over the years you must have been involved in many ways of raising money for various causes that Christian Aid have supported around the world.
Yes. So Christian Aid sort of helps in disaster areas. That's one aspect of the work. And then with the development projects in various areas. I have been to Uganda and seen some of the development projects for food, for medical care, and for agricultural projects and so on, and education. I've seen some of those in Uganda and also in Palestine. Yes, and also Christian Aid is involved with campaign work, encouraging people to campaign for justice in the world in various ways.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. So you have been able to go over and see some of the work undertaken then?
Yes, yeah.
So that really must be a nice thing to do, and also a driver to keep you going in raising the money and working with Christian Aid.
Yes, it is, because when you've seen Christian Aid at work in a country like Uganda and Palestine, you don't forget, and you realise just how important the work is for the people who you've met and talked to on your visit. Yeah.
And Christian Aid, it's an agency of churches, is it, in Britain and Ireland?
Yes.
And multi-faith?
Yes, it is. It's an ecumenical organisation, yes.
So lots of members in the country then who work towards help through Christian Aid? Yes. The work is based mainly in the churches. The volunteers are mainly from churches, but others help as well. Many other people do get involved who are not particularly involved with their churches. And of course Christian Aid also helps people who are not Christian. Christian Aid doesn't only help Christian people, but helps people of different denominations, different faiths, and none. If they request help, Christian Aid tries to respond. So is there quite an active Christian Aid group here in Preston then?
Yes, there is. There's the Preston Christian Aid Committee, and in Longton we have our Longton Area Christian Aid Committee, which is the one involved in the Hunger Lunch, yes. Brilliant.
So, again, the lunch then is this Friday, Cath, and it's being held where and the time?
It's at St Andrew's Church Hall, Longton, in the centre of the village in Longton, next to the church.
And it's a hunger lunch, and it's at what time, and the cost again?
It's from 11:30 till 1 o'clock. And the cost is £4.
And hopefully the money that you raise is going to, what was that called?
Yes, it's this Christian Aid Partnership Scheme in Kenya for health care and maternity care in Kenya.
Brilliant. Well, good luck with that on Friday, and thank you for coming on to Chat City this morning. Been nice to meet you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed for inviting me.
If you have any news or events you'd like to share with Huey and our Chat City team, why not give us an email, chatcity@preston.fm.